I think, let me check if everything is working. Can everyone hear me? Is everything, all technical difficulties are not present? Are absent? Let's see. I'm a little worried because this is the first time I'm streaming to Instagram. I'm streaming at the same time to YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. And I find actually last time I streamed, when I launched the auctions last week, I tried to stream to Instagram and I totally messed it up. So it didn't actually go live because I had no idea what I was doing. But Instagram is weird. You have to put in a stream key manually. I think I got it this time. So hello everybody who is on all platforms, everybody on YouTube and Twitter, and there's some people watching on Instagram. I'm not seeing any comments over on StreamYards, but I think I can, okay, I'll pop out the chat and Instagram. Oh, there's a lot of people watching. Awesome! Hail! Thanks for joining, everybody. So cool. So what I'm going to do today is I am going to talk about the auctions that I currently have live on eBay. I have 2 covers for my comic Fiendish that are on eBay right now, and one is ending in like an hour, in like 58 minutes. So there's not much time at all. And the other one is ending in like, what, 2 hours-ish? I think I'll launch the other one an hour after. But anyways, we'll stream for a couple hours, close out those auctions. It'll be a fun time. And we'll talk about Fiendish and maybe some Chainsaw Man. Because that's something I've been itching to talk about for a whole week. I watched it last Saturday, and nobody else I've streamed with has watched it. I haven't been able to talk about it. So I'm going to talk about that probably. Also just talk to chat and hang out with you guys for a bit. So yeah, let's get started. Hail. Hello, Epignosis. Says, let me check my bid. What? I'm outbid. Yeah, people have it just went up by a little bit today. So that's great. It was, I mean, auctions are kind of launch heavy anyway. So I kind of expected most of the bids to come in on launch day, but I'm like, well, I got to put in the effort and stream on the closeout to boost it a little bit. So hopefully it'll go up a little more. Let me pull up the auctions to show you guys. And I do have the art right here. So you can actually see the art in person. Let's see. Share screen. Is this the right one? I don't know if this is the right one. Which screen? I don't know. Too many tabs. I am one of those people that have about 60 to 80 tabs open in my browser at any given time. I don't know how my computer gets anything. Maybe this is why my Photoshop just crashed yesterday. That might be it, Irene. Might be it. Boop, boop. Let's do this layout. Yay! So here. Okay, good. This is the one that's in the incognito window. Let's see. Boop. Let's do that. Wonderful. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So currently, oh, it just went up again! Yay! Awesome! Thank you guys. Right. So this one is the Fiendish 2.5 Japanese edition cover. Let me pull out the actual comics to show you guys. Right. So, since I am streaming to Instagram, I suspect maybe there are people who don't know who I am, who haven't seen any of my streams before. So, I suppose I should introduce myself. I am Irene Sterkowski, aka Irene Draws. I'm an artist and comic creator, and I am the writer and artist of my comic series, Fiendish. And these here are the Japanese editions. Of course, I have an English edition as well. The English edition is the original, the primary, it's, I write in English. But I printed these. I got the series, all 3 books in the series translated to Japanese earlier this year because I did a convention in Osaka, and the art for these 2 books, that's chapter 1 and chapter 2.5, are the covers that I am auctioning. Those were original art pieces. They were drawn in physical media and then colored digitally. So It's my art, and I'm going to be auctioning those 2 covers out. Not this cover, because it's my favorite. I'm keeping it. I'm holding on to it, because also I love Yomi. I know a lot of other people love Yomi as well. I apologize, but I also love her, and I really love this cover. I mentioned before, this is a composition I have been holding on to for a really long time, and I've wanted to do this cover for years and years, and I was holding on to it, and finally drew it for the Japanese edition. So I just love it too much, so I'm gonna hang on to that original art. But yes. By the way, if you do win the eBay auctions, if you win the covers, you will get a copy of these respective books. So if you win the chapter 1 cover, you will, let me adjust my mic, because, oh, jeez. I know if it's not, like, right in front of my face, I sound like I'm 50 miles away. So maybe, hopefully, my audio quality will be a little better here. Here's my little plague doctor. Hello. He's joining me every day. Right. So anyways, you'll get a copy of one of these books. And let me flip through and show you. So, Japanese edition, it genuinely is. I got a translator who's a native Japanese speaker, and he's from Osaka too, by the way. His name is Hidekazu. He did a great job, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited. And there's not that many of these Japanese editions printed, of course, because most of the books are most of our stock is in English, and actually most of the Japanese books are back in Taiwan because I couldn't bring them with me because of luggage weight limits. But anyhow, this is like a dream come true. It was super cool to be able to print these editions, so I'm very proud of it. And here's the chapter 2.5 cover. And you can even see these are, you won't be getting these copies specifically because I have the stickers on these, so I'll get you a fresh copy that doesn't have the stickers on them. This is sample and Japanese. That's what it says, because these are the display copies for not Tokyo Comic Con, Osaka Comic Con. So yeah. By the way, Jake did the colors on all 3 of these covers. Jake, Hyper Wizard. So shout out to him. He did a wonderful job. And I draw the interiors in these books as well, except for this one, which is a floppy. Chapter 2.5 is a character backstory floppy, and it's drawn by Michael Rushbrook, who's an amazing artist, and he's my go-to secondary artist on Fiendish right now. But anyways, Fiendish is a dark fantasy mystery, if you like stuff like D&D and Berserk and some really high commitment Tolkien-esque world building, then this is for you. This is for you. I feel like there's not enough people making really expansive fantasy, especially in American comics. Not that it doesn't exist. I know a lot of series in European comics are fantasy, but you know, I wanted to create a long-form epic fantasy comic, and that's why I went independent. That's why I decided to crowdfund my comic, and it's something I've always dreamed of doing. So that's what this is. I decided to go all in and go crazy. I built a language for this series. There's a whole fantasy language that I created, and also there's a map and everything that you can see in the back of the book. So there you go. If you're watching on Instagram and you're brand new, go check out Fiendish. The website is fiendishcomic.com. I have all the links to the books, and you can read digital versions of the books. The links are on the website. It's like under the chapter pages. I have a store on there. I have lore pages, everything. You can find everything on the website. So, fiendishcomic.com. Go check that out. I guess I can pull that up as well. There you go. Dun dun dun! Behold! Ooh, yeah, and chapter 3 is currently live, and, well, it's not live, but it's funding. I'm taking late pledges on both Indiegogo and Kickstarter for Fiendish chapter 3, which I'm working on right now. So yeah, you can go back that if you so like, and you can see those are the 3 books that are out so far. Those are the English covers. The Horrorophone, did I say that right? The Horrorophone 8662 says, is the fantasy language based off Chinese Mandarin? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Right, so it's not, but it is. So what I did, let me go to the The language page. Ooh, behold, I have the language right on here. The whole dictionary is on the website. Look at that. It's a whole dictionary, and it's not just one PDF either. There are more pages to this PDF. Look, if you scroll to the bottom, it's like a bunch of other stuff. You have like colors and shapes and professions and all that kind of stuff. Go away, the banner. Okay, anyways. But yeah, I have the whole dictionary here. I have logographs, and I have an alphabet. So there are logographs because Nanarsa, which is my constructed language, is not strictly based on Chinese or on any other real world language. I kind of mishmashed a bunch of languages to create Nanarsa, and at some point what was really interesting is it's also started to take on its own life, and I started to be able to identify which sounds sounded like Nanarsa. It became its own thing, even though it was inspired by real world languages. The phonetic basis for it was Old Norse and Old Slavic. So I started with those languages, and the grammar, on the other hand, I built it based on Chinese grammar. So when you speak Nanarsa, it's not a one-to-one translation from an English sentence. I would say the sentence in Chinese first, and then translate those words into Nanarsa. So the word order and a lot of the expressions are translated from Chinese grammar, with the exception of Nanarsa has gender and has tense. Chinese doesn't have gender or tense in the spoken form. So, and also, I incorporated logographic writing into the language. So European languages don't have logographs. They're all phonetic alphabets. But Chinese and Japanese and mostly East Asian languages, but just like ancient Egyptian and all the, ancient Sumerian, they have logographs, which are pictographs. They stand for a whole concept, and it's not just one sound. It's a concept within a glyph. So Nanarsa, the writing system, is a combination of a phonetic writing system and logograph. So it's kind of like Japanese. Some words you spell out, but some words have their own logographs. And I'm slowly drip feeding the logographs into the story as the books progress. At the back of every book, I have, let me show you guys, I have a glossary. So there's a page with the alphabet. And then here are the logographs that I introduced in that chapter. And then here's a glossary for any of the pages where the characters do speak in Nanarsa. I have it translated here. So you can just look at the page number and flip to the back and read what they're saying. And the way Nanarsa works in the world is it's not the language that everybody normally speaks. It's kind of a clerical language. So think of ecclesiastical Latin or Mandarin Chinese. Most people, when they're speaking in the comic, here it's Japanese because it's a Japanese version, but in the English edition, most of the dialogue is in English, but it's non-diegetic because they're actually speaking in a common tongue, because they're on the continent of Arvos. It's called Arvosa. But Nanarsa is the clerical language. It's used for official bookkeeping, and the upper class speaks it, and the shamans, which are kind of the knowledge keepers of the continent, speak Nanarsa. It's also an ethnic language for this ethnicity, this type of human race that I came up with called Ispoliad, and they're kind of like more magical humans, but they are human, but they have some heightened magical abilities, and they're overrepresented in the shamanic order and all that stuff. So that's a native language for them. So anyhow, when people who are linked to the upper class or to knowledge centers, they would speak Nanarsa. So it's kind of a language that people will use to hide information from the lower class and stuff like that. So that's how Nanarsa shows up in the book. And also any writing will be in Nanarsa. People don't really write in Arvosa. I guess they could spell out the words, but it's like a more common variant of the language, or no, I don't know if it's not strictly related to Nanarsa. Anyways, I'm not going to get too much into the weeds, but right. So there's a very long and rambling answer to you if my fantasy language is based on Chinese Mandarin. Not exactly, but partially. Right. Logographs. Yes, logographs. That reminds me of the third race in Gargoyles. I don't remember that. I actually really like Gargoyles, but I didn't watch the later seasons. I remember the first seasons really vividly though. But yeah, or do I? What's the third race in Gargoyles? I don't know what that is. I like the explaining. I'm glad you like the explaining. Sometimes I go off on tangents and talk for way too long. So, I'm glad that you guys do enjoy that. Moromi says, depending on fees, Whatnot does work. At least one woman from Life of directly selling and doing live auctions on Whatnot. What's Whatnot? Is that a platform? I feel like I've heard of that before. I'm not sure what it is. Jake has been playing Simpsons Fortnite for 108 straight hours. That sounds about right. I mean, yeah, that sounds about right. I think he finished drawing Carnal and getting it to print, and he's just been playing Simpsons Fortnite for a week straight. Yeah. He will not see sunlight until the Simpsons Fortnite thingamajig map goes away. Konnichiwa, I think you mean konnichiwa. And right now, where I am, it will be konbanwa, because it's at night, but hello, thank you. I'm Rini-chan, yay! Deep world building, yes, I try. Yeah, that's what this website is all about. I have a pantheon on there, I have species, I have a world map that I'm very proud of. There's a canvas print of this, by the way. That was a really popular item, but you can still get that on the store and on the Kickstarter. So, yeah, this is the map of the world of Fiendish. It's technically a partial world map, but it's the part of the world that's story relevant. So there's more to the planet, but I wanted to focus the map on this is where the story takes place. And to give people a general idea of the size of this, I mean, I have a little mile marker in the top right corner, a little, whatchamacallit, map key thing majig, but Arvos, that's this continent in the middle that looks like a bird, it's about the width of the US. It's a little smaller than the United States. So I measured everything out like a total obsessive dork, and I measured the width of the continent exactly. I measured travel distances. I took into account difficult terrain because the center of Arvos is very mountainous. I play a lot of Pathfinder, so this stuff comes naturally, and I have to be obsessive about it because travel distances matter. I'm not going to Rings of Power this and just have my characters teleport, or I'm not going to late season Game of Thrones this and just have my characters teleport with no sense of time and distance. But yeah, when I write the story and as I work through the chapters, I measure the travel distances and I make sure everything makes sense and the seasons are changing along with time passing and the characters traveling. So if you read the story and you keep track of characters saying, well, winter is going to be in this many months and it takes us 2 weeks to go here and there, that's all real. That's all being taken into account as I draw the backgrounds and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, just a little bit obsessive, just a little bit. Just a little. See, it's a cartoon. Yeah, I do know that Gargoyles is a cartoon. That's one of the few things I have seen. I know it's a meme that I mostly haven't seen any media in general except for a bunch of anime, but I have watched Gargoyles. So Gargoyles and Mummies Alive, and I think Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the animated one, those were on TV in Taiwan when I was growing up. They were playing right alongside anime, and in my mind there was no differentiation. I like those series, so I watched it like right after the anime that I was watching. So I did see those, but kind of nothing else. Oh, I watched Recess too. We did have Recess. But yeah, bunch of other stuff I have no idea. I just didn't happen to see it on TV in Taiwan, so there you go. Alex VRB is here! Thank you for linking the Fiendish website. Yes, thank you very much. Paladin says nerd. Nerd! Guilty as charged. Guilty as charged. Thank you, Moromi, for the links as well. Doug is probably, his mind is blown by the obsessiveness of my world building. Listen, I spend way too much time on this stuff, but hopefully it's worth it. Hopefully it's worth it because I'm going for immersion. Going for immersion here. Right, let's go back to, oh my gosh, it did go up quite a bit. It's 300. I almost said 3,000. It's not 3,000. No, if only. But I'm not that famous yet. 300. Thank you guys so much. It ends in 37 minutes. Holy crap. Okay, and it's ending soon. So if anybody wants to get in on this and wants to bid, then you have to do it right now. I do have the original art over there, so I'll take it out. I'll bring it out and show you guys the original art so you can see it for yourselves. Where's the other auction page? I feel like I don't have it pulled up. Let me see. Here is the link. Oh, by the way, the links are pinned in the description, at least on YouTube. It is pinned in the description, so you guys can just go there. I guess I should also paste them in the chat. Could do that. That's a good idea, isn't it? All right, let me do that. Let me paste them in chat. Auctions! Exclamation mart. Exclamation mart. Can't speak today. Let's see. Okay. Nope, not here. Here it is. All right, so I'll pin that comment in the YouTube chat to make your lives easier. Hopefully that helps. I always forget to do this. Real professional over here. Real professional. Definitely know what I'm doing. Definitely do this for a living, guys. Pin message. Yay! Okay, message pinned. Whee! Alright, there we go. And thank you to everybody who is posting the links in the chat as well. Chim Chimera for $1 with no message. Thank you for the super chat. When did you change your name to Chim Cham? Isn't that what Phil calls you? Sounds a little silly. But that's okay. Guys, Chimera can take it. Don't worry. I make fun of him all the time. But yes, thank you for the $1. That's Michael Deitch. I hate that StreamYards shows the @handles instead of people's names now. It's so confusing, but I know that's Michael Deitch. So, hello, Michael. For the show The Expanse, they created a language for a group of characters. Ooh, interesting. I haven't watched that, but yeah, I heard it was pretty good. I love constructed languages. It's just, it's something that's always impressed me when I see creators constructing a language for their world. It just makes it so much more believable and lived in. Of course, it's the godfather of creating languages for fantasy works is Tolkien. He was an actual linguist. I can never match up to what he did, obviously, but I admire it. And yeah, honestly, my reasoning for building a language for Fiendish was just practical. I figured if I wanted to create a fantasy world where the goal was that I wanted the readers to feel like this was truly an alternate universe. It's not set in the ancient times of our world. This is not set on our planet, of course. I mean, you have humans, but the humans are different than us. They're different than us humans. They have different, I mean, if you really want me to nerd out about it, just get me started on the Pathfinder stats for humans in Fiendish, which they are all statted out, and so are Ispoliad, and so are all the magical items, and the trading cards that come with the crowdfunding campaigns have Pathfinder stats on the back, by the way, so if you like that, then you should back the crowdfunder campaigns. But anyhow, but other than that, it's not set in our world, and I didn't want a reader to be reading a fantasy series that's not supposed to be connected to our world at all and suddenly see English on the page other than dialogue. If something is written on paper or written on a sign, I wanted it to be not in English but in an actual, not in any real language, but I wanted it to not be gibberish either. So through necessity, I decided, well, I just have to build a constructed language. So it started from that. I actually don't think it's hard. it's just very time consuming. So it's an ongoing process that I started years ago, basically when I started building Fiendish in 2018, and it's still ongoing. And I expect it's something that'll just organically continue to grow as I work on the series. So yeah. But that's really cool. I haven't watched The Expanse, but I guess I should. Harbinger of Chaos gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much, Harbinger. Hail. Thank you for being here. Well Read is here. Hello. How's it going? Hey, those are the auction links. Yes. Dun. Yeah, thank you for the memberships. Much appreciated. I haven't changed it back. Well, you should. The cover is sweet, 25 bids. Yeah, it went up by like 4 bids just now, I think. I think when the stream started, it was at 21 bids, at least when I checked right before going live. So thank you guys so much. Let's see. Ingrish. Yes, Ingrish. Hello, Michael Rushbrook. There's my 2.5 artist. He's an awesome artist. He has his own upcoming comic, Dark Moon Saga, by the way, so you guys should go check that out. I think it's darkmooncomic.com. Is that right? He has a sign up, so everyone should go check that out. Chinglish. Well, I guess Nanarsa is like Norse Slav Chinglish. That's funny enough. So the people I grew up in Taiwan going to American school. When I talk to people I grew up with, it is Chinglish. We just mix the two languages equally. It happens naturally. And then I'll turn around and start speaking to a non-bilingual person and forget to stop talking like that. It happens. Moon runes, yes. Okay, I'm gonna stop rambling. Let me show you guys the artwork. Give me a second. Let me pull out the actual artwork and show you guys. Okay. Alright, here we go. So the first one that will be ending is here. I guess I should full screen myself. Me runes. Yeah, that's right. That's what I should have called them. So here you go. This is the chapter 2.5 cover that will be ending very, very soon in just a matter of minutes, in like 30 minutes or so, I think. So it'll be like 11:30 my time, and it's like 11:55 my time right now. So it'll be coming down soon. And if anybody would like to own this cover, you've got to bid soon. Right, so this is drawn on Bristol paper, which is standard comic art paper. I use archival inks for everything. So somebody asked about my inking tools. I use microns, mostly microns, but also the Pigma FB brush pens. Let me see if I have one over here. So I use these as well as microns. Pigma FB. FB just, I think it means fine brush, but I use this for very fine line. So this is a brush pen that has a very, very fine tip, and I love it for those reasons. I also use the Tombow Fudenosuke brush pens, these over here, and these are for slightly thicker lines. So thicker line brush pen, thinner line brush pen. That's how I work. And of course microns for the fine lines. And what size is this? This is 005. I will go down to a 0.003. That's how thin I'll go sometimes. Over detailing? What over detailing? I don't do that. Never. Anyways, and then the blacks here are India ink. So this is nice and archival as well. This should last you a long time. But yeah, there you go. That over here, this is Teenage Casimir, my main character. And if you've read the story, you know that he's a bit of a grumpy dick. That's basically his character summarized. But not really, because of course it goes deeper. But but there's a reason he's the way he is. The least of all because his entire family was tragically massacred by demons when he was just 11, and that's how the story begins. That's in the first page of chapter 1. There was a prologue that happens, and it's everybody dying. But after that, he escapes. As far as he knows, he's the sole survivor of this demon attack on his hometown, and he runs far away, and he almost dies in the woods, but he's saved by this old shaman lady and this guy that's floating in the sky behind him. He is not 50 feet tall. That's just like a artistic juxtaposition thingy-majig. But this guy, he's a hunter named Octo, and he's kind of a recluse. Well, he is a recluse because he has a mysterious an illness that also part of it is a skin condition. I've never specified what it is, but he has a sickness, and he has a backstory to him as well. There's a reason he's also an outcast, and he just lives in the woods, and he's very, very reclusive and very harsh on Casimir. But basically, him and this elderly shaman named Frigi find Casimir, save him before he starves to death in the woods, and then Casimir asks to be apprenticed under Octo, because Kaz's thinking is, wow, I just watched everybody I knew got killed. I don't want to feel that weak ever again, so I want to be strong. And this guy seems pretty strong, so I'm gonna go apprentice under him and learn how to be tough. Then he ends up treating Casimir kind of shittily, but succeeds in making him a hard ass and making him a survivor, which is what title of chapter 2.5 is. Chapter 2.5 is titled Survivor. So there you go. That's the reason the title was given. But yeah, this is the cover. This young Casimir, maybe about 15 or so. So throughout chapter 2.5, you go from right after he escapes Dorvo and it covers a lot of ground in just 25 pages. It fast forwards through many scenes until he's 16. I'm not going to spoil what happens, even though I really want to, but I'm very proud of that story. It's a shorter story, but it is a self-contained one-shot. So if you're new to Fiendish and you're hesitant to dive into the entire series and buy all 3 books, even though you will not regret it. It is very good. But if you want to just get a snippet, a little sneak peek at what the story is like and who the characters are, at least Casimir in particular, then read chapter 2.5 and you're going to be wanting more. So yeah, that's what this cover is. Alex VRB says justice for Octo. Justice for Octo? What does he need justice for? I don't know what he did. Why that? Yeah. Not gonna spoil it. Well, anyhow. Yeah, I think the 2.5 covers came out, the English edition cover was very memorable too, I think, if I may say so myself. Let me pull out the English editions to show you guys. Where is the English edition? I might be out of English editions. So, yeah. Oh, crap. Baloney! Do I have any left? Right, I don't think I have any left. I think do I have... Oh, it's hidden in my convention box. So I did an event in Augusta a few weeks ago. I'm not going to dig it out. Anyways, I'll show you guys on the website. Let's see. Oh, the auction for that cover. 24 minutes! 24 minutes left on that cover right there. Oh, by the way, it comes with this piece. So, because I launched the auction on Halloween, I drew these cute little fantasy waifu girls to go along with the main pieces. So, let's see. If I pull up the auction again, you can see that here is the main piece, the chapter 2.5 cover, some close-ups, and here is a little drow, and it's drawn on shikishi board, which is basically, it's like Japanese signature and calligraphy board. This is what artists at Japanese conventions use to draw commissions, and it's also what they use for signatures. not just artists, but as far as I know, everybody uses these boards to sign, and I think it's really nice. It's like an official little gold framed thing. It's kind of like art paper, but wrapped around a cardboard base, so it's nice and sturdy. I have a signature from Makoto Yukimura, the creator of Vinland Saga, and it's on a shikishi board. It's larger than this, but they have like this picture of Thorfinn printed on it, but then Yukimura signed under it. It was really cool. I'm very happy to have that. It's a treasured item that I love. But yeah, so shikishi board, that's what this is. It's thick. It's a board. It's not just a sheet of paper. But I bought a bunch of these when I was last in Japan, and I thought it would be cool to start drawing some more commissions on them. And it comes along with the main cover piece. So there you go. If you like cute fantasy girls, then that will also be yours along with the Fiendish 2.5 cover. Henry Bemis says, Drow, you can fix her. Well, I don't know about that. Hey, hello, Devilish Doyle Art. Hello, thank you for joining. Hail. Shikishi. Yes, that's what it is. Shikishi. I think it's Shikishi, but the way I hear Japanese speakers pronounce it is shikishi. So I try to say it right. I have been learning Japanese. I don't actually speak it yet. My Japanese is very, very bad. I've just been chipping away at Duolingo. I did actually take a couple of Japanese classes years ago, but now I don't have the time or money, but I just do Duolingo. I go to Japan once in a while to try and improve. But yeah, I'm still at the stage of learning Eki wa doko desu ka? Where's the train station? But at least I can say that and a few other things and ask for the price, so it's not too bad. I can go to Japan and generally get around. A long way from being fluent. Next thing I know, I'm worshiping. Who's that? What kind of demonic entity is that? Does she need fixing? Exactly. What if she doesn't want to be fixed? What are you going to do about that? Right, I was going to show you guys the Fiendish 2.5 English cover. Right, so let's go to the website. So you can go right here. There you go. So check that out. If you go to read the comic, all the chapters are in the drop-down menu. So you can go right here. And there's the cover for Fiendish 2.5. And that's also a composition that I've been just dying to do forever. Man, yeah, I've been holding on to the story for 2.5 since I started drawing chapter 1. And I was so excited to have this out there and so excited to do this cover. So, by the way, you can read a free preview on the website and just flip through the first few pages like this. You can also read free previews on Global Comics, which is a digital comics reading platform. I have Fiendish on there, so you can click this link on all the chapters to go read the comic on Global Comics. You can, of course, buy the physical book, and I have a website reader as well, which is differentiated from the Global Comics digital version by the fact that I have creator's notes and I overlay the pages with pencils and inks on pages where I did save the pencils and ink, so you can see the process work. It's like a one-time pass, and then you have permanent access to the website reader. I thought it would be kind of cool, and it would be something a little more heightened from giving people a PDF. So there you go. I do have the website reader as well. So listen, the key to creating an indie comic is you've got to make the work accessible. So I do my best to create that. Oh, by the way, there's Chapter 3, the book that I'm currently drawing, and which is currently crowdfunding. You can read a huge preview. I have 15 pages. Look, there's the core team. There's Casimir, my grumpy hunter main character, with a tragic backstory, who's searching for the truth behind the demons that destroyed his hometown and killed his family. And then there's Ragna, Casimir's old flame, who is my big-chested, bitchy shaman girl. That's It's a little oversimplified, but that's basically her. I love her. She's awesome. She's the powerhouse of the group, but she definitely has personality problems, and we're gonna work on that as the series continues, okay? It's a character flaw on purpose, and we're gonna see if she can manage to improve. So, there you go. But right, she's an Ispoliad. So remember I mentioned I created a human race that was only existed in Fiendish. That's her. And so Ispoliad have like pink skin and green or blue hair naturally, and they have slightly pointy ears. They're not like elf pointy, but slightly pointy. So basically they're like pink, mildly elfy humans, but they are humans because they can interbreed with humans, because the world of Fiendish is very scientific, and if different species can't interbreed. So Yomi at the bottom, she is a dev. She can't interbreed with humans. So she is a humanoid creature. She's bipedal, but she can't have children with any human or any other Cymar. Cymar is the in-world term for intelligent mortal species. That includes humans and Dev and Ispoliad and several other species that I created. I don't have elves or dwarves. I wanted to create my own fantasy species and make life difficult for myself, but yeah, so but it's all on the website. You want to find out more about that. That's what Ragna and Yomi is. And Yomi, like I said, is a Dev, and the Dev are this species. They're species, because races are subspecies in this world, but she's a species that doesn't have any magical abilities, so they're commonly enslaved by other species. And humans are the most numerous, so Dev are almost universally enslaved by humans, or Ispoliad, and basically other Cymar. So it's a harsh life, but Yomi is an escaped slave. So at the start of throughout chapter 1, not just at the start, she belonged to this theater troupe, this caravan that was traveling through Arvos. She's a bit of an outsider. She's from the south, and she was just performing for the small theater troupe that was passing through the area where Casimir and Iskal lived when the caravan was attacked by a demon that Casimir and Iskal was tracking, because after many years of disappearing, the demons that destroyed Casimir's hometown have resurfaced. So he and Iskal were tracking this creature and found it just as it was attacking the theater troupe, and Yomi is only one in the theater troupe that walked away without just absolutely life-changing injuries. Most of the people died, and she decided, you know what, I'm gonna not be sold again and probably become a bed slave. I'm gonna run away with these weirdos and go into the woods and hunt demons and get my revenge because they killed my friends. So that's her story, and that's how she came to be part of the team. Iskal is Casimir's younger cousin and apprentice, and he has a curse that's very interesting, and it's revealed in chapter 2, and it's definitely going to be something that's explored more as the story continues. But yeah, basically anyone who touches him feels the effects of this curse. So it's difficult light for him. He basically can't touch anybody, and it ties into his character of being he's the conscience of the group. He's the heart, the conscience, he's the empathetic one, but he's also a little too trusting of people, and Casimir is the opposite, so they're kind of foils for each other. Oh, and Nina's a big cat, and she's the murder kitty of the group. She's Casimir's pet, but she's part of the team, so of course she's there. Anyhow, you can read the first 15 pages of Fiendish 3 on here. Look at these pages. I'm so proud of them. They look so good. This book is going to be amazing. I try to level up my art with every single book, so I'm hoping you guys will notice that the art in chapter 3 looks even better. And the interior colors are by Nick Zamudio, by the way. So old art school friend. He does amazing interior colors, so shout out to him for doing these. But yeah, go to the website and read that and check it out. Hello! Hi! Thanks for joining. Let's see. TA says race just means breed. Some languages use the same word for both. Yeah, that is true. That is true. I'm trying to think in Chinese what are the terms? I think in Chinese, race is the same word as tribe. So if you say ethnicity and race is the same word in Chinese as 种族. So it kind of to figure out what usage the word is, you just use context clues, but it is the same word. Like if I say I'm Hakka in Chinese and that's my ethnicity, you would say 客家人是我的种族, sort of, and which I am Hakka. But it's not any different than saying race. Yeah, which is a made-up idea anyway, so who cares? Which is why I also wanted to emphasize species in the world of Fiendish, because that's way more important, right? It's like, within the human species in the world of Fiendish, humans come in all kinds of colors. I want to have, like, spotted humans and stuff, right? And I have the Ispoliad that aren't any real-world human coloration. I thought that would be kind of cool. It's a fantasy world. Let's make people look weird. But the different species are what matters. And there are Cymar species that aren't even humanoid. They're not bipedal. They're probably just intelligent fish, basically. Cymar don't have to be humanoid. They just have to be intelligent, mortal creatures. So there you go. Hey, Rushwood says I have a team of awesome colorists. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Shout out to Nick and Jake, the two colorists on Fiendish. They do amazing work. Wouldn't be able to get any of this done without them. Thank you for the link, Maromi. Oh, maybe I should go back to the auction and check in on it. 11 minutes! Oh my gosh. I don't know if we're gonna actually talk about Chainsaw Man at all, guys. That might not happen. Oh my gosh. This happens every time. I decide to do a stream and say I'm gonna talk about a subject, or I'm gonna draw, or I'm gonna color. Never happens. Never happens. I just nerd out about Fiendish and talk to chat for like 4 hours, and before I know it, the stream's over, and nothing useful, nothing productive occurred, other than, of course, well, today we're looking at this auction and funding the auction. Funding the auction? That doesn't even make sense. Boosting the auction. Sure, whatever. Spotlighting it. There you go. Oh yeah. We'll see if I actually talk about Chainsaw Man. Tokyo Comic Con come. No, not this year. No. Because I already did Osaka Comic Con. Not Tokyo this year, but maybe next year. I'm hoping to be in Taiwan towards the end of next year. I should be. So I love to do Tokyo Comic Con next year. I have done Tokyo Comic Con before. It's a really, really good show. And yeah, I love going to Japan in general, but Tokyo Comic Con is it's like an American style convention, but in Japan, which Japanese native conventions are, like Comiket, are a little different than American cons. It's a lot of doujinshi, a lot of fan work, and it's not as it's like, imagine pure indie, but an entire show floor. It's kind of awesome. But Tokyo Comic Con is kind of an in-between. You do have the corporate booths there, and then you have an artist alley, which is a very American style, American way of doing a convention. But I just love going there. The artist alley is great. It's very well run, and there's just, it's the homeland of manga, so people just love comics so much, and I love going there. It's also why I'm trying to improve my Japanese, so not this year, but hopefully next year. How do I even say next year? I don't even know how to say it. Well, obviously you do speak English, so yeah. I'm hoping to go back next time. That would be very, very exciting. David Conway is looking for Fiendish 3. Yeah! David says, Fiendish is one book I took a chance on and loved it. I'm so glad to hear. Thank you so much. Yes, you guys can, by the way, of course, reminder, order the first 3 books. So these that I have here, I don't have 2.5. But I do have chapters 1 and 2 with me. Oh gosh, ding dang darn it. My bookshelf is just an absolute nightmare. I have like a million things here. Where is my chapter 1? Oh, here it is. Okay. I wanted to find the English editions to show you guys. Look. So, here's chapter 1 and chapter 2, and, I don't have 2.5s on hand right now. RJ has them. By the way, I have gotten some questions from people who ordered chapter 2.5 on the store. We were out of stock because I had to go to print again for chapter 2.5, and we are back in stock. So everybody that has ordered books from the store, including chapter 2.5, your books have shipped out. If you want a tracking number, I will send it to you because RJ is doing the fulfillment for those, so there is no automated tracking number through the website, so I apologize for that. But your books have been shipped out and you should be getting them in the next few days. But yeah, we're back in stock on everything. No longer pre-order for 2.5, which it was on pre-order for a long time. But yeah, chapter 1 for Fiendish and chapter 2. And then there's also 2.5, which is a one-shot story. And these are thick books, by the way. Just so you guys know. This is why it takes me a year to draw each one. Chapter 1 was 50 story pages. Chapter 2 was about 70. Chapter 3 is going to be also about 70. Save me. And, I was going to try and cram the entire story from between chapter 2, which starts in Elstad, all the way to Dorvo, which is Casimir's hometown. So right now the story is they killed this demon. The team has assembled and they've decided that they have to go back to Dorvo, Casimir's hometown, the inception point of these demons, to go into this ruined town that nobody's been to deep in the woods to get at the bottom of where these creatures come from. They're essentially going on a combined monster hunt, but also it's like a detective story, sort of. There's going to be like this reverse reveal of clues leading up to what happened the day the town was destroyed, and it's going to be really cool. But I was going to try and cram that all into one book, and I was like, this is going to be a 150-page book. I just literally need more pages to tell the story. And I'm already trying to compress the story as much as possible. It would have been uncomfortable to read. So I decided to break apart the story into 3 books. So now chapter 3, 4, and 5 will all be part of the first arc, and chapter 5 will be the follow through to the end of Dorvo, and that will be the reveal. That will be the reveal of what the demons are and who is behind them, because there's a whole world-changing mystery that I'm super excited for. So many character reveals. I already showed a sneak peek of one of them in chapter 3 in the preview. There's ooh, let me show you. Wait, let's see. 5 minutes on the auction, guys. 5 minutes. Okay, almost over. Da, 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 da. Right. Okay. So, no, not this view. This view here. Yay. Let's go to the Kickstarter. Here is the Kickstarter. It's for chapter 3, but I've written here chapters 1, 2, 3, because I do have chapter 1, 2, and 2.5 available on the campaign as well, so I wanted to be clear. But yeah, on if you scroll down to these covers, this green cover, this is the permanent market cover for chapter 3. So the way Fiendish covers work is all the campaign covers, during the live crowdfunding and late pledge stage until I close the Kickstarters and Indiegogos, I have variant covers, but I'll only have one cover that I call the perma cover that is continually available after that. So all the variants for each book, you can only order them during the crowdfunding period, unless I do like a different language edition or something, or a collected edition, of course. But for each chapter, I don't like having a million bajillion variants for comics, I feel like I'm just ripping people off. So I decided, well, I'm going to just keep things simple and have one perma cover after the live crowdfunding campaigns and the late pledge period. But here are all the variants for Fiendish 3. This cover is a wraparound by Kyo Naoki, who did covers for, I mean, he's done so much amazing work. He did covers for Common America, and he's done gaming work as well, and he did a cover for Cardinal the Barbarian, which is why I was like, I saw his cover for Cardinal, and I decided I absolutely needed to hire this guy, because that cover was amazing, and he draws booty really, really well, and I wanted this cover, which is a limited cover, to be extra saucy, so he absolutely killed it. It's a wraparound cover with Ragna, Nina, and Yomi. It's all the girls. They're all the girls on the team. And then there's Kazumir in the background, if you can see him peeking through the window and looking confused. Right, that's the, it's not a Kickstarter exclusive, but you can only get it on its own on Kickstarter. On Indiegogo, that cover is part of a bundle. And there's this cover, the dark cover, and then this is the perma cover. So my point was, this guy, the horned guy, he's a mystery villain, but I did reveal him for the cover. I haven't told anybody what his name is yet. We don't know his role, but you're gonna be finding out more about him in chapter 3. I think you guys are gonna love his powers. You probably won't know right away what they are. So he does some things. I don't have the original art right on hand. It's in the other room, but I did reveal a double spread with him, and it seems like he's controlling flowers and stuff, but it's not actually that. Let me tell you. He has some interesting powers that you won't find out the truth about right away. But yeah, there you go. There's him in the spread that I finished, and I'm very excited. But he's part of those hidden antagonists that are pulling strings from the shadows that I've been telling you guys about, and all the way through chapter 5 you'll be finding out more and more about him, and there will be a second villain reveal in chapter 3 as well later on in the chapter. So there you go. I'm very excited to show this to you guys, and you guys are gonna love him. Okay, back to the action. It's 1 minute. Is it gonna be 300? Is that it? Whoever's currently at the top, is anyone willing to challenge him? Maromi says Mr. Horn E. That's his name. I haven't revealed his name, so the chat has christened him Mr. Horn E. That is now apparently what he is called. David Conway said, that looks so cool. Thank you. I'm glad you think so. Complex Legends and 1 minute left on the auction. I know. Ends in 43, 41, 40 seconds. Are we gonna get any snipers? Will there be any snipers on this auction? Will this piece of original art be 300? And going to the current... Oh, 305! It's going up! Going up! 12 seconds left! I will frame it, by the way. I frame all the original art that I ship out to people, so you'll get it nice and framed. 4, 3, 2, 1! Ended! 330! Yay! Thank you to whoever won that auction. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yay! I am very, very grateful. You guys are awesome. Unearthing America says that Kyo Naoki cover is dope. Yes, it is. He does amazing work. Everybody go follow him. And it's Kyon Aoki. So it's Kionaoki on Twitter. And it might be Kyo Naoki art, but he's easy to find. You just search his name and you'll find him on Twitter. But yeah, thank you guys. I think a little celebration is in order. Shall I play? I still have hardly any clips on my channel, but there you go. Dun, dun, dun. Wonderful. So 1 down, 1 more to go. Epignosis, I was close. Guess more money for that. I was close. Guess more money for next time. Oh, so it was. Oh, so you didn't get it. Oh, I'm sorry. But thank you for bidding, anyways. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I will say, I wanted to. Most of the interior pages, I have. Well, all the interior pages for chapter 3 that are up for sale are on the Indiegogo campaign, which I can go over and show you guys. Pew! Here's Indiegogo with its newfangled interface after the massive change to the website, after the massive revamp. My light is being weird, sorry. And where I've mostly learned to navigate it, but Indiegogo campaign did very well. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. But yeah, well, where was I going to go? Right, rewards. I'm still a little. I mostly learned to navigate it, but not completely. So I have all the bundles, and here is the original art. So I have interior original art for chapter 3 available on the Indiegogo. There are still several slots left, and the way I'm pricing these on the Indiegogo is there are 4 price tiers, and the pages that belong in these tiers, they're ordered according to detail level and story relevance. So it's $1,000 pages, which are the really detailed, really story relevant pages, and then there's 800, 600, and 400. I think next time I'll just have the pages individually priced and up on the campaign, but I did it this way just to minimize clutter on the back end. But I do realize that people probably like seeing the actual pages right from the beginning. You will be able to choose the page that you get, so it's first come, first serve. I am going to email everybody who backed each tier. So everybody who backed the $400 page tier, I will be emailing you in order of backing. And the people who backed earlier get to choose their pages first. So that's how I'm going to structure the system for choosing which pages that each backer gets. But yeah. Original art is only available for the Fiendish 3 interiors on Indiegogo right now. But my point was, I do still have a couple of things that I want to put up on eBay, but I want to space things out a little bit, and I'm really busy right now, and I think I have one cover. I have one cover sitting around that I really want to auction on eBay, but I don't know if right now is a good time. Everybody's spending money for Christmas. Maybe it would be good to auction more stuff because it could be a Christmas gift. But I think these covers are selling. These 2 Fiendish covers, that's enough. It's tiring to run a lot of auctions all at once. So anyways, I have more art that I'm hoping to put on, or I will put on eBay in a few months' time. I'm just gonna say it. I have the Yaira cover that I'm still holding on to, and I should have put it up on eBay months ago, but I kept forgetting about it. But I do have that, and I'll have it up on eBay at some point. And also, I'm working on an art book. As some of you know, I'm working on this Fantasy Girls art book. So any art that I do for that hasn't already been sold, which most of the art for it has already been sold in auctions in the past, but I'm drawing some new art, and any new art that I have for that, I'm going to be auctioning that out. So more auctions will be incoming, guys. So wait until next year. I'll have more. I will have more. Alex VRB says, anyone buying them is keeping them? What? Buying which ones? Let's see. Thank you for the links. Much appreciated. Yay, space! Yeah, I want to do more Space Girls, basically. I felt like the original idea was to have just general fantasy girls, and for I did a convention exclusive art book that was like demon girls and with some elf girls mixed in, and it was like a mini fantasy girls art book. But I realized that if I just expanded on that convention exclusive for the larger art book, it was a little repetitive. So I'm trying to draw more new art for this larger art book. I want it to be at least 40 pages, but hopefully a lot more. 40 to 50 pages, lots of sexy fantasy girls. I want to do more space stuff. It'll be fun to go back to drawing sci-fi, which was my first obsession, which was what I used to draw all the time, even though I draw a lot of fantasy now. Is a fun fact, early on in like the early 2000s, which saying that makes me feel so old, but that is actually when I started posting my art online. My first deviant art, guys, dates to 2004. I've been doing this for a while, but if you look at that really old stuff, it's like gothy sci-fi stuff. I really loved Ghost in the Shell and Blame, so I think it would be cool to go back to that a little bit. I'll still have elves and fantasy girls, a little bit of that, but yeah, I want this book to be really good. I don't want to just clobber together a art book willy-nilly. I want to get a lot of the pieces colored, and I want to have a lot of new art. I want it to be really worth it. I want it to feel like an art book, not just like a book full of my shitty sketches. So yeah, that'll I don't know when that'll launch, because I keep pushing it back, because I keep deciding I want to draw more stuff for it, but it'll happen. It'll happen. More original art incoming. Alex says, some of your old stuff is really good. Thank you. So what's weird is, let's go to the next auction. Yeah! So this is the other cover. This is a chapter 1 cover, and it ends in 58 minutes. So in another hour. So we'll be pimping this one next. But right. Yeah, my old stuff. It's one of those things where I feel very conflicted about, not so much about my old work, but I feel like I went through a weird trajectory with my art where when I was in high school, before art school, before I went to school to learn art because I majored in sequential art and animation, before I went to school to learn how to do art properly, I think that I had more of a distinctive style. And I feel like it wasn't just school, it wasn't just art school, but a combination of art school and then working in art kind of killed that style, and it definitely changed the way I drew a lot, and I muted my original style to basically pay the bills, because I was working in animation and you have to match the style of what you're working on, and it's not something I can be pissed about, because listen, I had a job in animation, which is pretty cool, but I do often want to get that energy and that originality back that I had early on. And I think looking back at my really old stuff, you guys want me to pull out my old DeviantArt? Would that be fun? You guys want to see some embarrassing old stuff? Let me do it. Let me show you guys. It's ridiculous. I pulled it up before, but I can do it again because we're on the subject, so why not? We're never going to talk about Chainsaw Man, guys. It's not going to happen. Okay, DeviantArt. Oh gosh. DeviantArt is nothing but AI now, and it's been weird for a while, which is why I update it maybe once a year just because I still have an account, but I don't. Every year that goes by disincentivizes me from going on DeviantArt even more, just because it just gets progressively more and more weird. Anyways, all right, you want to see my really, really old DA account? Just show us your secret hentai work. I have none. I have no secret hentai work or yaoi. I don't have any of that kind of art. It's not even hidden. I genuinely never drew that kind of stuff. I know some people don't believe me because people like to just make up shit on the internet, right? But I genuinely just never drew that stuff. I was just like, ooh, robots and fantasy stuff, cool. I used to draw a lot of robots. So, all right. Yeah, you guys ready for this super old cringe art? Hold on, which one do I want to show? I guess it's not bad for a high schooler. I'm like drawing degenerate stuff. They do. They sure do. Yes, they do. Listen. That is not something I'm denying. I have been following the saga of women's literature, or what passes as women's literature nowadays. And my gosh. Never let it be said that women are less randy than men. They are just randy in different ways. But yeah, I am just a weirdo. I actually haven't drawn any hentai or yaoi or any randy stuff. Just I am strange. Thank you for the link, Maromi. Yes, there is still this piece that's up on eBay. It ends in 54 minutes, but in the meantime, we'll look at some embarrassing old art from my DeviantArt. Yes, that book! Morning Glory Milking Farm! Oh my gosh! Holy crap! I can't believe that's a real book title. Holy shit. Yeah, it's, I think literary raunchiness is the same. Women are more, they read because it's more of like an emotional connection, or it's more of like a reading response. So men are visual, which is why men consume the prawn the way they do. But for women, it's literary. So I'm telling you, it's all this stuff and all these raunchy stories. It's just the female version of le prawn. That's what it is. That's what it is. So I am not denying that women have their thing and are just as raunchy. It's all the rage. Cool. I'm happy for people who enjoy that. That's nice. Billy Paramax, hello. Many videos mocking it. I mean, I think if people enjoy it, that's great. But it's definitely weird. It's definitely weird. I think the bare minimum is like the subject of interest should be a human. I don't know. I'm just weird like that. I'm not I don't think cows are that appealing, but okay, whatever. And also I would like actual literature to be popular, to go alongside all the stuff like that. All the Morning Glory Milking Farms. Literary, that's a stretch. I didn't know what word to use. That's not the word. Anyways, yeah, you guys get what I mean. It's reading, and the situation and the emotional connection is more important for women as opposed to just visually seeing something. That's what I mean. It's calling it literature is debatable, I understand, but all right. After this sends Reno posting a series. No, I won't. There is none. All right, let's look at my silly old art, shall we? Okay, first of all, this is when did I draw this? I think this was 2006 or 7. Oh, there's a date on it. Let's zoom in. 06. July 06. Oh, that's nice of me to date my art that clearly, so you can see exactly the month and year that I drew that. But yeah, so this was in high school. Now everybody knows how old I am. I'm not, in fact, 62. That was a joke, obviously. But yeah, I drew this in high school. Oh, I am old. I'm an old bitch. But yeah, the first point of cringe is my username. My first DeviantArt, because I was a emo little dork. Angela Rebellion. That was my screen name. That was my username on DeviantArt. I was such a cringy little bum. Holy shit. But right, here's my old account with the silly little bee. I used to get quite a few views, but I stopped posting for a while, and then I made a new account. I should have just continued posting on this account, because you couldn't change your username. Anyhow, so this is my older account. That's not my current one. I have a Rini Draws DeviantArt that I still do update, but this one is dormant. This one is just what I, this is like high school and early college stuff. But, let's see. Yeah, this stuff is storyboarding work from storyboarding class, and this is a sculpture for some 3D maquette class. I did quite a bit of sculpture during college. But yeah, this is the page where, I mean, I guess this stuff isn't too bad. It's not too bad. This was freshman year of college, so it's not too terrible. Yeah, there's this. Definitely a little more. But I was a really big fan of Luis Arroyo, so you can see the influence, I think. Yeah, there's this. So the thing is, I would like to go back to more of this style. You see the sci-fi. What I mean by I would draw a lot of sci-fi, but my structure was actually not good. If you grid out the perspective on this, the perspective is all wrong, and the anatomy is all wrong, but it looks cool. So it's this interesting thing I realized where it's like my older work had more energy, but my newer work has more structure. So I'm trying to find a balance, and my whole goal with quitting my day job in corporate art and drawing Fiendish was I wanted to find a style that was mine again and not just draw for other people. But I wanted to take the energy I had in my older art and merge it with the structure that I understand now and better myself. Like, I want to create things that are actually mine. I don't want to spend the rest of my life drawing for other people. So yeah, that's sort of this trajectory that I feel like I've been on with art and my art style. But this is my older stuff. I do think it has more pizzazz, but it's just like the writing I would do at the time. I was really bad at structure, but I think I had cool ideas. The actual structure and characterization was super inconsistent, though, because I was like 19 and I've never taken a storytelling class, but the style was strong. So I'm hoping, go away, I'm not signing in, shut up. So I'm hoping to be able to go back to a little more of that. Oh, by the way, this is kind of an unnamed fantasy girl character I had from that era. In my head, she was a shaman, or not really a witch. It was always a shaman in my head. So she was like this fantasy shaman with tattoos, and it's kind of a very early version of Ragna. I've always had a bit of a thing for shamans. I don't know why. Not witches, not anything else, but specifically the idea of a shaman. So she's not Ragna, but it's a very early shaman girl character that I had. And if you guys go away, so if you guys know, I did a webcomic for a while called Shaman Child. Oh, so annoying. And that never continued because I realized that my writing had gotten better and the story needed a lot of revamp. Oh my god, I was so high school. I feel like I shouldn't be showing this, but anyways, it's on the internet, so who cares? I have no shame. Everybody knows my internet history. I'm trying to find an old piece. Look at all this emo gothy stuff. Look at all this. Look how emo and dark this is. She's a shaman-holic. Yes, indeed. But anyways, right, with Shaman Child, I discontinued it because I felt like I could revamp the story and do a better job. And then I kind of just started writing Fiendish and got carried away with it. But I don't know, maybe one day I would revamp Shaman Child and continue it. But point is, I've always had a little bit of a thing for shamans. I thought they were cool. Show us your pirate turtle. Pirate turtle? What's a pirate turtle? Don't know what that is. Hail, some person. Thanks for joining. What was the girl with the treads? It was just one of my sci-fi girls. So I had this character that was white-haired girl who was a synthetic human. This is when I was really into Ghost in the Shell. So she was kind of a cyborg, but she wasn't attached to like a tank, but in this sculpture, I forgot what the prompt was, but it was for sculpture class, and the prompt was it it matched the prompt. So I decided to merge this white-haired sci-fi girl I had with like a mechanical leg thing. So she was basically like a girl growing out of a tank, which apparently is now an anime. There's this anime that where girls turn into like battleships. So I guess I was a little ahead of my time. Not really. I'm sure that's been a fantasy in people's minds forever. But yeah, that's what that was. Emo Dark would be a cool character name. That'll be the next character I introduce to the Fiendish team, Emo Dark. Just work it into Fiendish? Yeah, I will. I'll have spaceships and cyborgs drop into the world of Fiendish. So I hope you guys are ready for that. Where is... I'm trying to... Okay, this is high school. This stuff is definitely from high school. I'm trying to find that little emo chibi drawing. Oh yeah, this. So this is on my old DeviantArt. And this is proof. This is proof of the date it was posted and the fact that this is the original. It says right here, my cringe old DeviantArt name, 2006. And this was drawn for Christmas. So it's actually been 20 years. Gosh darn, I'm old. But yeah, this was drawn for a Christmas card at my high school. And this piece is archived on my super old DeviantArt page. Alright, there you go. That's all I wanted to show. Back to eBay and the current stuff that I'm drawing. Billy Paramax says, I have soy-infused androids in your book. Really? That sounds interesting. Very good, very good. Listen, the randomly capitalized letters was the thing at the time. That was just what teenagers did to seem cool and look like they had a personality. At least that's what I thought. I was like, I have to be special and I want to stand out and be unique. So I'm gonna randomly capitalize things and just have like weird emoji faces everywhere. Yeah, I was very childish. Gosh, I was so cringe. But whatever, the internet is forever, so it's there for everybody to see. It's there for everyone to see. Are you sure that wasn't Berserk inspired? No, I haven't read Berserk at the time. I didn't read Berserk until after college. So yeah, it was, if you've read Blame, I think you can tell that Blame was definitely part of the influence. So Blame, and also what else? Louis Royo. Like I said, I like Royo's work a lot, and Blame had this scratchy, dark style. Even though it was sci-fi, it was really grungy sci-fi. And Tsutomu Nihei has this way of, especially back then, he draws really differently now. Like if you look at his art on Tower Dungeon, completely different. It's very clean, but it's nothing like how Blame looked. But I loved the art style of Blame because it was raw. He hadn't figured out how to draw people yet, but it didn't matter because the environments were the character. The environment was the star of the show, right? So yeah. It was really scratchy and grungy in texture, and Nihei is an architect by training, I think. So the environments were just so expansive and so interesting to look at, and it was this shifting sci-fi megastructure that the characters were traveling through. I love that so much. It's one of those comics that just inspires your mind to start imagining new worlds and imagine yourself in the world. I really love that. I always, if I could create something like that one day, that would be wonderful. That would be really, really great. Yeah. One day I will find my way. And try and match up to even a fraction of the artists that I admire. So we all did it. Paladins, we all did it. Well, yeah. If you were a teenager in the early 2000s, you know what I mean. We were all cringe at the time, but that's okay. Rini drinks another random capitals. Yes. I didn't start using Rini draws until college. Yeah. It's, I'm glad that I chose a slightly more professional name when I decided to have make all my professional accounts and my website and everything. I've had the website since college as well, but yeah, it's quite the improvement on Angel of Rebellion. Listen, I was 14 when I made that account, so cut me some slack. Cut me some slack. Blame the manga. That's sparse. The sparse? I don't know what you mean by that. It's an interesting comic, though. I should read it. Royo? What? Did Royo draw any raunchy stuff? I mean, I've seen one where this chick beheaded a guy, and I guess that was a little spicy. But I don't know. I know Frazetta drew spicy things. Most of the fantasy artists have like, it's like Mobius definitely drew very, very raunchy art. But I don't know about Royo. Maybe I just don't know about it. Tower Dungeon is super fun. Though the loose art doesn't always hit. From what I've seen of it, I still haven't read it, but of course Pear has been showing it to everybody on Creative Block forever, and it seems like the art is simple, but it reads very clearly, which is the point of comics, right? The point of comics isn't to have art that's super duper detailed and to show off how well you can draw. I'm just a psycho and I like drawing detailed art, so I like to make my life difficult. But the point of comic art is communication and clarity, and I think Tower Dungeon does that pretty well. You know what other series also does that well? Chainsaw Man! Finally found a way to slide Chainsaw Man in there. Let me actually pull up Chainsaw Man. So I will be honest, when I first read Chainsaw Man, I was not entirely sure what I thought of it. Not because if I can find some of the comic pages. So at first it's a giant gore fest. And the thing about Chainsaw Man is just blood everywhere. It starts out with this guy who gets chopped up into pieces, and his little chainsaw devil pet dog merges with him and saves his life, and he becomes this chainsaw. It sounds insane. If I just say this, it sounds like I'm fucking crazy. But yeah, here is. Let's see. Where is this? Is this no, this is later on. I'm trying to find the first freaking chapter. Go away. November. Oh no, those are the newest ones. Do they not have the early ones? I should have prepared this. But anyhow, the artwork, I'll just share this instead. Hold on. Share screen. Boop. There we go. Add to stage. Right, so this is the art for the Chainsaw Man manga. And is that actual art for the comic? There you go. It's, the storytelling is very straight to the point. And I'm more used to manga that decompresses and lets the story breathe. So I wasn't sure what to think about the manga at first. And it wasn't apparent right away that there was it was definitely cool. So the cool factor was there right from the beginning. Because a guy who merges with the chainsaw devil and has chainsaws pop out of his head and his arms and joins these devil hunting corps where all the other devil hunters contract out to devils and use devil powers to fight devils. That's the basic premise. Again, I sound like a crazy person, but manga is crazy. And I swear, the reason manga is kicking the ass of American comics is because they're willing to embrace these absolutely insane premises. you have to not be afraid to be nuts. And I think that's our problem. So, people like it when you just admit that you're nuts and draw it, right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Every popular series is kind of fucking crazy, right? It's a crazy idea, and somebody just decides, I'm going to sit down and commit to that and draw this thing, and then it gets super fucking popular, right? Or it's just really well done. Like, Demon Slayer is just, it's not a concept that hasn't been done before. It's not quite like Chainsaw Man. That's more, that definitely is I would say the idea behind Chainsaw Man is fairly original. I think the concept of what devils are, the storytelling style, I think it really is not standard manga either. The art style isn't standard manga. It's not big eyes. The pacing, like I said, is much more to the point than most manga, which is why I wasn't so sure about how much I liked the storytelling and the characters. First of all, a lot of the characters are assholes, but it was funny. But then at certain points, it was, especially because on a manga page, sometimes especially because I was reading it in English, what they were saying, the sarcasm didn't quite come through, so I wasn't sure about the humor. But the more I read it, the more I got into it, because I realized that it had really good structure. There's actually a lot of really good heartfelt moments, even though the characters are all kind of crazy and the premise is insane, and the main character is a complete disgusting degenerate. And if you watch the movie, you'll know what I mean. So, the movie is currently out in theaters, and I'm trying to not spoil too much while I talk about this. You do have to read part of the manga, or at least watch a season of the anime to understand the movie. I'll say that. Phil went into the movie, and I heard from a few other people, they went in to see the movie without any context. They haven't read the manga, they haven't seen the anime, and were completely lost. Though I will say, even if you go in blind, the movie has really good internal structure. You'll just be kind of lost on, like, why is this guy transforming into a chainsaw? Why does this guy with the sword, why can he summon this big fox? What's going on? I'm confused. So all that stuff is something, all of those are plot points that you have to read the previous part of the story that comes before the movie to understand, right? But even in the absence of that, there were a lot of internal callbacks in the movies, and the ending was just callbacks to earlier setups, and it was actually really sad and heartfelt at the end. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but I do recommend it. The animation is beautiful. Go watch it. Also, if you like blood and gore, then you definitely would like it. It's a lot of that. I mean, catch up on chat. The movie without the previous anime context is just nonsense. Yeah, I think you would be quite lost. It's still enjoyable. It's like the action is good, but you need the setup. Just watch a couple of episodes of the anime. That's all you have to do. It's easy to find, or read a little bit of the manga. You just need to know the setup of how the main character got this chainsaw devil thing in him, and how devils generally work. And you need an introduction to what the core devil fighting public security group is. You need an introduction to that. You kind of want to know who Makima is, the red-haired girl. She's pretty important. It helps to know who Aki is as well. So yeah, just watch or read a little bit of it, and you'll be well situated to watch the movie. Awesome one says he doesn't need context. Well, all right then. He said, I watch many anime that's crazy. Oh yeah. Oh no, the context isn't just because it's crazy. It's the setup itself. It's it kind of just cold opens. It just jumps right into the story without explaining anything, which I think that it's definitely a movie that assumes the audience already understands what has happened before. It's not like the Demon Slayer movies where I watched Mugen Train and Infinity Castle and you didn't need a lot of context. You kind of got it. It's like, oh, they're also another demon hunting anime manga series, but you could just jump right into it, right? You didn't really need that much context. You understood it. It was this kind of period based series, and there are demons, and it's all these all these demon hunters, and the main character is this, and it's self-explanatory. The breathing techniques are part of how powers manifest, sword powers manifest. It's essentially the magic system in that world. So it's not as out of the blue as Chainsaw Man. Yeah. Sai is here. Hello. Sai says hi 83% of my face. Hello everybody, welcome to my stream. I am here. My camera is pointed in a weird direction, so it's more comfortable if it's full screen. You see, it looks better if I sit here. So I have my camera pointed in a direction at an angle to capture a nice full screen view of me. Like, this is a nice composition, right? And I'm not centered because, my mic is here, but when I go into this weird sliver view, hello, I am half cut off, and I'm trying to lean in more, but it's a little awkward. Anyways, hello, Sai. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. It's Sai. It's been a while. I missed the Red Valkyrie people. I miss you guys. It's been so long. We gotta hang out again. But anyhow, right. Should I let me do a quick plug for the Chainsaw Man anime. Ooh, auction ends in 28 minutes. So a little under 30 minutes. Let me go back to that while I'm searching for this trailer. I want to show you guys the trailer for Chainsaw Man. There you go. So what's funny is too, the chick in the movie, I actually forgot who she was at first, because it's been a while since I read the manga, and I didn't even remember who she was until the scene on the roof. But I won't spoil anything, but yeah, if you do watch it, you'll know what I mean. But as soon as the thing on the roof happened, I remembered, oh, right. She's actually really powerful, and she's that chick. Alright, let's full screen this. And play.
Hey, Miss Makima? Do you think I have a heart?
Yes, you do. The name's Reze. I can teach you everything. Let me teach you.
I might fall for this girl. Bomb is coming. She's... Everybody's after my chainsaw heart! What about my heart? Genji's heart? Does nobody want that?
Boom.
There you go. This was not a good dub. Stop. Go away. Alright, I'm going back to just me. Hi. There. You've never heard the dub? The dub's okay. The dub's okay. I think it's fine. Does Murder Girl fall in love with him? Well, that's what you're gonna have to watch the movie to find out. I prefer subs. I like seeing the original. I like hearing the original voice acting. The thing is, the animation animation is done after the voice acting. So the original voice acting would be what the animation is animated on. That's why I think always invariably the original voice acting is always better. And I try to just read subs whenever I can. Like in a theater it would be a little more difficult, but whatever. I don't mind reading. I understand if some people prefer to just have it dubbed, it makes your life easier, but I'm a sub supremacist. I just think I want to feel the original creation. Original. Yeah. It's pretty cool. I recommend it, so everybody go watch that. Alright. Enough Chainsaw Man shilling. I will go back to the campaign. Oh, not the campaign, the auction. Silly me. This is like the 5th time I've called the auction a campaign because I'm so used to talking about crowdfunding campaigns. I am silly. The Japanese voice acting is always better. Yeah, they have a whole industry. It's a whole profession. And I think in I mean, we have American voice actors, but it's not quite the same thing, is it? It's not this whole well-established profession and industry like in Japan. And oftentimes in American dubs, they just get an actor who has a nice voice to voice act, which often works out fine, but I much prefer the Japanese voice acting, not least because it's the original, but because I just think there's it's more likely that people working as voice actors in Japan have more training and have focused exclusively on voice acting for anime. We don't have people that focus exclusively on voice acting for animation here. It's voice actors who do many things, including anime voice acting. Maybe there's a couple of people who exclusively focus on dubbing anime, but it's not the same. It's not a whole industry. So I do think the Japanese voice acting is always better. But I did watch Chainsaw Man dub just because that's what was available. Excuse-moi. Rini makes more when talking out of context. That this is an auction, right? Oh, by the way, this is an auction, and it ends in 23 minutes, guys. Holy crap! And it's at 375. It's almost at 400, guys. Can we get to 400 on this? Oh, pretty please. Oh, pretty please. Sai says more cancer treatments. I'm not streaming lately. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope everything goes better for you, Sai. Jeez. You've been ordered to tell me again that I love you. I love you guys too. You and Shay are awesome. I really hope things get better for you soon. I want to hang out again. Hopefully I can go visit you guys. It's been a while. I missed the Red Valkyrie auctions. I do. It's been so long. And I was setting up this auction and I was just like, I missed the days when we had auctions on Red Valkyrie. And we just got to hang out and drink a lot, and it was like a group auction. It was so much fun. I do miss you guys. Yeah, we should catch up sometime, Sai. That would be great. I wanna get an update on everything and just chill. Let's just chill. Eric says, I don't like reading movies. I understand. Yeah, Sai, hang in there. Okay? You can do it. The auctions. Yeah! Yes! You'll work on it! Yes! That's awesome. Yeah, I do miss them. It's been a long time, so and it's been a busy year, but it's yeah, I was setting up this auction and I just was thinking, man, it was a lot of fun to have an on-stream thing. So I will be there. If you start the auctions back up, I will be there. I promise. Unless you schedule it for a day where I'm at a convention or traveling again, because I do those things a lot. Unless I'm literally unable to stream, I'll be there. Let's do it. Yeah. Most anime companies are firing their US voice actors. I mean, well. I feel for the people losing their jobs. I wish them all the best. Also, Japanese voice actors don't need extra layer of translation between them and the character. Yeah, a dub character never seems as true to the material. That is true. There are a lot of so like for example, Miyazaki movies that come to the States now that they are adapting Miyazaki movies. I mean, I remember back in the day when that never happened, or no anime was ever adapted to the West. But and when they adapted Nausicaa, did a shit job of it. But that was a long time ago though. But really famous anime, when it does come to the West, it tends to be pretty well adapted. But at the same time, the animation is done to the Japanese voice acting. So that's the original, and that's also why I almost always prefer manga, because the manga is the source material, and that is the closest to that is drawn and written by the hands of the original idea creator. That's the inception point. So it's always more pure than the adaptation, and there are always going to be details that aren't in the anime or movie adaptation. So I prefer reading manga. So there's a lot of series that I actually haven't watched the manga for, but I mean watched the anime for, but I read the manga because that's what I grew up reading. But some exceptions. I actually do really recommend the Chainsaw Man anime, because the animation adds to the storytelling because it's so well done. Jake is probably bendering it up but buy his book anyways. Oh yeah, everybody go away. Hey, look, 100% positive feedback. Yay! Thank you guys. Ooh, look, that's me. But yeah, go back Carnal the Barbarian as well as Jake's book. It's still available on Indiegogo and Kickstarter, just like Fiendish. So go check that out if somebody wants to drop a link. Go support that. And also, I have a cover. You know what? Let's pull up the Kickstarter. 18 minutes left on the auction. 80 minutes. Ah! Go bid now. Bid now. Bid now. Okay. Carnal the Barbarian on. Let's do the Kickstarter so I can show off the Kyo Naoki cover. Behold. So, this. Speaking of raunchy stuff, if you like that, then you'll like Jake's book. But lots of TNA here. This is the Kyo Naoki wraparound for Carnal, and this is the artwork that I saw that made me decide I absolutely have to hire this guy. Beautiful cover that's only available on the Kickstarter, so go check this out. I know Jake's closing this down soon because he's going to start fulfillment. Quick turnaround. The books are already printing. He just updated everybody on Creative Block yesterday that the books are at the printers. So that means the campaigns will be coming down for reals, and you won't be able to get a bunch of the variant covers or the gold foil variants in particular. So the gold foil versions of the covers are only for people who back the campaigns. So yeah, back the campaign for Carnal before it comes down. But I also want to show you this. That's my cover, guys. Look at that. Mine. Da, 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 da. So you should back Carnal, but specifically get my cover right here. And also there's a t-shirt of this. So you should get my cover and buy the t-shirt and tell everybody that that's my art because it's awesome. Yay. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the links, some person. Thank you for all the links, chat. I appreciate it. And thank you for posting the eBay links, Moromi. And website links as usual, Alex. You guys are awesome. You guys are the best. The wraparound mini cover is badass. I think this is the first wraparound cover I've ever done. So, very special. Very special. Jake really lucked out on this one. Yeah, I've never done a wraparound cover ever before. And he has the original art for this, so I can't even sell it. He bought that original art, so there you go. Let me pull up the piece for that. Commissions. My commissions folder is such a mess. Okay, no, this is the stuff I'm currently working on. Where's my freaking Cardinal folder? Can't find anything. Can't find anything. Ah, okay, there we go. If I pull this over here. There you go. Definitely, slightly spicy, but not too much. Not too much. Still censored. So yeah, this is my cover for Cardinal the Barbarian 1. You guys are gonna love this story. It's TNA, but it's not just TNA. Well, let me tell you, there's actual world building, there's character development, and there's really, really good structure, and there's the ending is gonna make you want to read the next book right away. So go check this one out. All right, back to Fiendish. 370 ends in 15 minutes. Oh my gosh, 15 minutes. Come on, 400. Can we get to 400? Let's try to get to that. That would be awesome, and I would be ever so grateful. Let me pull up the artwork. It's right over here. Yeah. Hold on. Oh, everything is just stacks and stacks of paper here. Okay. I am well prepared, guys. Alex as it captures Dee Dee's final moments. Well, if you look closely at the cover, technically it's an alternate reality where Dee Dee is saved. Because Cardinal was holding the Blurk Champion's mouth open, thus saving Dee Dee. So, my cover is a Dee Dee is saved cover. Everyone's favorite character, Dee Dee. I saved her, and that's why you should back my cover. There you go. Let's see. All right. So, wait. E? It's like women's literature. Oh no! There's more substance. Definitely than Morning Glory Milking Farm. I can guarantee that. I won't deny there's a lot of comics, especially TNA comics, that are the equivalent of that, and there is no substance whatsoever. But I don't think Cardinal is that. I will say, but you know, of course I have a cover, so I'm biased, but I do think I am correct. I do think you guys will enjoy that book, as you will enjoy Fiendish! So here is the cover that is currently on eBay, and the auction is ending in 13 minutes. Oh my gosh. So this is the chapter 1 Japanese edition cover. And the book, if you're just coming into the stream and didn't see me show you guys, here is the Japanese edition, the cover, the actual book in the flesh. And if you win this cover, you will be getting a copy of this book as well, without the stickers, because this is the convention floor sample. You'll be getting a untarnished copy of the Japanese Fiendish one. You zoom in a little bit, you can see the title. That's just I wanted to keep the English title, but that's just a pronunciation. Fiendishu, that's what it says. I love it. And then the back, the summary is also in Japanese. Everything's in Japanese, except for the copyright. But yeah, very proud of this, very proud of this. This is the debut edition of Fiendish that I brought to Osaka Comic Con earlier this year. And this is the original art piece that is currently auctioning on eBay. And there's 11 minutes left to it. This is definitely quite the detailed piece. So here you go. That's the size of my finger. Did I tell you guys I draw with a 0.003 micron, and you can tell by the size of these lines? There is no reason for anybody to draw lines this thin. This will not show up in print. Okay? But I have a problem. I have a problem with detail control. So that's why I have to draw lines that are 1/10 of a millimeter thin, even though nobody else is going to care or see it. So, that's why my art takes so long to do, and I do 1 book a year, but I'm trying to be faster, and at least the original pieces look really good, and that's why you should back it right now, and also bid on the cover on eBay. Thank you very much. I am now a demon talking. Right. This is Casimir chopping up a demon, another composition that I had been saving for a long time. I am somewhat proud of the motion lines that I got on this claw thing here. It's a rather disturbing 5-jointed claw thing coming out, and tentacles, of course. All the demons have tentacles. Come to think of it, maybe that's where all the hentai jokes come from. But no, I put the demons have all this black goo and these weird faces, and they have tentacles. It's because it's I like Lovecraft, and it's more of a reference to Cthulhu and Lovecraft and Berserk. I love Berserk, but Fiendish is somewhat dark fantasy, but it's not as fucked up as Berserk. But I wanted to pay homage to Mira's demon and monster designs a little bit when doing mine, and I think that's where the hentai accusations come from. That there's not. No, these I was just like, ooh. Also, I like drawing curly things, so I just like drawing curly hair and tentacles. That's literally it. But I understand. I'm never shaking the accusations though. I just accept it. I just accept it. Anyways, so here's a tentacly, gooey demon thing that Casimir is chopping up. Oh, that beautiful, adorable little face over there. And it has these, like, smoke. It has a smoke coming out of it. I like drawing effects. Blood spray and smoke. I love that. That's so much fun to draw all these. I call them particulars, but that's an animation term. That's an After Effects term, so I still call snow and smoke and like earth spray particulars, but that's because when you're creating particle spray in After Effects, you call it particulars. But yeah, anyways, nobody else knows what I mean when I use that word. That's what I mean. I mean special effects and just particle elements and blood spray and stuff like that. Tim Olson says, looking back at your first book versus where you are now, how far do you feel that you have leveled up? That is a very good question. I think I have leveled up immensely. A lot is the answer. Truly, truly immensely. I can pull up the books to show you guys. Yeah, I should show you guys just the difference in the art, but I try to improve my art with every book, and not just the art, but the storytelling. And I know I've grown as a creator. And with book 1, I think I'm still relatively happy with the art, but I was definitely coming off of working in animation for many years, and I was trying to find my style again. So I think the art was very stiff at some points. And also, I didn't have my pacing down yet. I think if I were to draw chapter 1 again, I would have compressed the story more. I would have added more about the caravan and added more content into the first book. I'm not going to go back and redraw chapter 1, even though sometimes I am tempted, but that is a waste of time. The story should continue. It is what it is. And if we went back and redrew our earlier books, no series would ever get done. But and it is still a good book. It is a good book. But I know that now I am a better writer and an artist, and that's just part of the journey. And if you're not improving as you work on a long form series, I think that's a problem, because I don't think it's the goal of pursuing art to just settle for a certain level of skill. I think you should be always trying to improve and find new frontiers. Yeah, and I can show you guys some examples. If you've read Fiendish 2 and 2.5, I think my point about pacing is evident because there's so much more content in 2, even though it's more pages, but just page to content ratio is still so much more happens, and 2.5 covers multiple years, and it's a very compressed story, and it's definitely very different than how I paced chapter 1, even though it's the same characters and all the same personalities. That was also a point of feedback that I heard when people got chapter 1. People were saying, well, they liked the story, but they wish there was more character work and there was more in the book, instead of a long fight scene taking up half of the book, which there was a lot of action, and I thought that people liked action because I've heard complaints that, well, especially in the American comic market, the customer feedback that I was hearing was people wanted action, and they cared about the art, they cared about the action, and I was a little afraid to get too in the weeds with my world building and character work. I was in hindsight, it's silly, but again, I was coming off of a corporate job or working at multiple corporate jobs for a long time, and I was a little afraid to more or less let my dorky nerd who built a constructed language flag fly, and I thought people would be scared of that and would think that this is too much to learn. I don't want to get in the weeds and learn this silly language. I want a standard fantasy, so I was trying to create something that fit more in what people would expect, which in retrospect is stupid because Fiendish is nothing like what anyone would expect. It starts out, the premise is easy to understand. Guy's family is killed by demons, and he's now on a quest to discover what these demons are, and it's a demon hunting story, but there's so much more to it. It's a whole world that I built, and it gets insane. It's supposed to get more and more insane. It starts out as a fantasy world that feels Norse and Slavic inspired. It's a little bit like The Witcher, a little bit like Berserk, but then it slowly just gets more and more weird, especially as more shamans come into the story, because shamans are all absolutely insane nut jobs. But yeah, early on, I didn't want to jump in too deep. If I were to draw chapter 1 again, I would just go all out, and I would have more content in it, and I would definitely have more of the caravan of the theater troupe in there, because the theater troupe kind of comes into the story and then the demon attacks them, but I would let everybody get to know the characters and get to know Halbrand more, so on and so forth. But yeah, I think I've improved a lot, and I'll try to improve with every book. That's a primary goal of mine. Luke Korolowicz. I did not pronounce that correctly, I'm sorry. Despite my name, I can't pronounce Polish names. Holla! I hear you. We should be looking at the auction because it ends in 2 minutes! Oh my gosh! Ah! Okay! It ends in 2 minutes, guys! Alright. Any last minute sniping? Any more bids? There's a bonus piece to this cover. Of course, if you win this auction, if you win this piece, then you also, first of all, it will come framed. I put all the artwork that I ship out in a simple frame just to protect it. I think it's just a nice thing to do. And so it will be framed, and I will send it with a copy of Japanese Fiendish 1. And also, this is the bonus piece that goes with this cover. Behold. So this is the little extra vampire girl that you'll be getting along with the cover as a little Halloween bonus reward thingy-majig. Look, isn't she adorable and cute? And it's also drawn on a shikishi board. And it's signed me 2025. There you go. And it's shaded as well. Shaded with Copics. This is Tombo's and Fudenosuke brush pens that I just showed you guys. Tumblers. And these, and shaded with Copics. So there you go. You'll be getting this piece along with the cover. Oh my god, 45 seconds! Ah! Da-na-na, da-da-da. You should experiment with a 3-minute auction. Get the adrenaline pumping. Why would I do that? Oh my gosh. That would be nerve-wracking for me. Okay, why am I so bright? My light hates me. That would be nerve-wracking, and I would probably have a mild heart attack. Less than a minute! Yes! 15 seconds! Any snipers? 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Looks like the person's gonna get it. The current winner's gonna get it. 3. Oh my gosh! Holy shit! Someone did Simon at the last minute! Oh my gosh! At the absolute last second! Jeez! Thank you guys! God damn it! Oh my gosh! That was 2 seconds! How many? That was 2 seconds in! Holy shit! Oh my, I've never seen that! I've never seen that! Damn! Alright. Whew! Thank you to whoever won that. I appreciate it very much. I will have this artwork packaged and shipped out to both winners next week. I will have the little bonus art pieces along with the framed artwork. Just give me a couple days to, oops, that's upside down, to package and frame the covers appropriately. And I'll have these along with it. And if you have any requests, like, so last week on the launch stream for the auction, I auctioned out, where's that other thingamajig? I had a Scarlet Witch. Oh yeah, it's because Travis won it. So, yeah, this was auctioned live on stream last week, along with a sketch page that I did. But yeah, I offered, if Travis, by the way, since you're here, if you want me to remark the back or write anything on it, let me know, because this was a piece that I drew at Osaka Comic Con. It was for Osaka Comic Con, so somebody was suggesting that I should remark it and say it was drawn at Osaka Comic Con 2025. Depends on if you want that. If you want it remarked on the back, let me know, and I'll get this shipped out to you along with these other auction pieces. So, yeah, there you go. Woo! And then these, one more look at these little waifu girls. Da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na, happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. It's past Halloween now. It's Thanksgiving time / Christmas. It's already Christmas decorations everywhere, which is good. I approve. But I also love Thanksgiving, so I'm looking forward to that. I love family get-togethers. It's nice. It's nice. I like this cozy time of year when you get together with your loved ones and eat a lot of food and get fat. And hopefully drink eggnog as well. I love eggnog. Eggnog is really good. Add a plushie. You have a ton of them? I mean, yeah, sure. I do have a lot of plushies. Oh my gosh. But most of them were gifts. So I feel wrong just like gifting the plushies away. Most of them were sent by fans. I actually don't buy that many plushies. I'm out of space. I don't have that much space, so I try to not buy too much stuff. But I mean, if someone gifts me something, I want to keep it. And I feel bad just like giving it away. So, but yeah. TA says I'm partial to Christmas cake. Is that a joke in the context of Japanese Christmas cake? Oh yeah. So my first time in Japan, funny story, since we've been talking about Japan so much, the first time I went to Japan was over Christmas, and it was really interesting because in Japan they celebrate Christmas not in the way where Western more Christian countries celebrate Christmas. It's a they have these more commercialized, I guess, customs, but it's fun because they have Christmas cake. So bakeries will sell cake that's like Christmas themed, and you're supposed to have a Christmas cake and also get KFC for some reason. It's just a thing to do. You have Christmas cake and KFC, and that's what I did. I went there with a bunch of Taiwanese American friends. It was like a gang of like 8 of us, and it was great. It was great. We went to Hakone, which is it's a hot springs it's not really in the boonies of Tokyo. It's like between Tokyo and Osaka, but it's near Mount Fuji though, so it's way out in the middle of nowhere. But it's really famous because it's a beautiful natural hot springs. We stayed there. It was this old Japanese style tatami mat hotel room. They served you breakfast on these little like floor trays. You just sat on the tatami mat. It was so cool. It was so cool. It's the first time I've been to a hotel like that, and it was in the hot springs, and you could see Mount Fuji from the hot spring. So you're just sitting in this blissfully hot water, buck ass naked and gazing at Mount Fuji, and it was great. It was great. It was my first time in Japan. But then a few days later it was Christmas, so I went karaokeing, ordered Christmas cake, and stuffed our faces with KFC. So that's Christmas in Japan. And there's also the joke that, well, should I make the joke? Everybody knows the joke. It's a little bit mean, and it's not true, but people will joke about, well, you're unmarriageable after 25, so I'm explaining it badly. I'm not saying anyone is unmarriageable after 25. I'm saying it's when people are trying to be mean. I would say that about myself too when I turned 25. I'm like, oh no, I'm Christmas cake. Nobody wants me. But it's a joke, clearly. But right, I was wondering if that's what you were referencing. Anyhow, Christmas in Japan is a lot of fun. It was great. I sung a lot of bad karaoke and ate a lot of KFC. It was awesome. You're doomed is what I'm saying? Oh, am I doomed? Food poisoning for Christmas. No food poisoning. It was very, very good food. Oh, the whole trip was good food. I just love Japanese food. I know I'm just like running my mouth now, but they had this market, this dockside market called Tsukiji in Tokyo, and I really like sashimi and sushi, but specifically sashimi, and it was the best sashimi because it was fresh catch, and you could go to the market and buy the fish from there, or right next to the docks, or there are a bunch of restaurants that will prepare sashimi and different types of raw fish dishes and fish dishes right there, and is right next to the market, but they've closed it down. So I'm just glad I got to go there before the Tsukiji market was closed down. Best food I've ever had. I love that stuff. I love sashimi. Anytime there's an occasion, I'm like, I'm treating myself. It's either udon or it's sashimi because it's my favorite. Whew! Eating fried chicken in a hot tub is Christmas in Japan. Sounds fun. No, it wasn't in the hot tub. It was a few days after because we were in Tokyo for Christmas. But Hakone was another place. I think were we in Tokyo first and then we went to Hakone, or was it the other way around? I don't remember. It was literally over 10 years ago. It was a long time ago, but it was an amazing trip. If you guys ever get the chance to go to Japan, you should. And I will recommend you places to go as well, but I'm sure you can find recommendations and find guides and all that kind of stuff. The last time I was there was the first time that I really spent a proper amount of time in Akihabara and went dojin diving, and it was so great because there are so many dojinshi, and there are these stores, chain stores even, but also little hole in the wall manga shops that are just dojinshi. It was so great. It was amazing for any comic and nerd stuff lover. Which, by the way, if you're looking for a dojinshi, I know there's a lot of nerd spots in Tokyo. There's like Akihabara is the main one, but there's Harajuku is more of the fashion one. There's also Shibuya, but Akihabara is the one to go for video games and doujinshi and manga, I would say. So there's a few other places scattered around, but yeah, I was staying right near Akihabara. Perfect location. I was so happy. I've never seen so many doujinshi in my life. It was wonderful. Okay. I am just rambling at this point, and my voice is going. Because I've been yelling for over 2 hours. So, I am going to stop and go find something to eat and end the stream and get back to work. But thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for bidding on the auctions, and even if you didn't, I appreciate you being here and supporting Fiendish. Again, you can find out more about Fiendish. Yeah, let me go back to the website. Yeah, at fiendishcomic.com. Both the Indiegogo and the Kickstarter are still live, so or open for late pledges. This is the beautiful Kyonaoki cover that's only available on its own on Kickstarter. So you can back Fiendish 3 on Kickstarter, or you can go over to Indiegogo and back Fiendish 3 and get original art. The original art of the interior pages is only available on the Indiegogo. There are a few slots left, so if you're a original art collector, if you mayhaps were bidding on the covers today and you missed out and you would still like some original Fiendish art, then this is the place to go! The Indiegogo for Fiendish 3. And that will be open for a little while longer, but the original art could be gone at any time. So go back it now. Of course, check out the website, and you can follow me at Rini Draws everywhere. I'm Rini Draws on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, everywhere. And also my non-cringe current DeviantArt account is Rini Draws, but now everybody also knows about my cringe old DA account, and you can all make fun of me for that. All right. Thank you for the links there as well. Thank you to my mods for posting all the links throughout the stream. You guys are awesome. And I will... Oh no! Suga Kristen here! You came in right at the end! Ah! I missed you, Suga! Chris, we gotta hang out again too. It's been so long. But, well, thank you for hopping in right at the end. Yeah, we gotta hang out sometime as well. Hopefully you can... you gotta make it to Heroes Con. You gotta make it to Heroes Con next year. Heroes Con is the place to be, so maybe we can meet up there. All right. I should be on Flashcast tomorrow, but maybe not, because I'm actually doing a social thing. I might actually be having a social life tomorrow, but I'll try to be on Flashcast, and if not, I'll see you guys on the Creative Block next week. I think it'll actually be my turn again. I'm not sure. No guarantees, but you'll figure it out. I'll post on Twitter whose channel it's on. So join us next Thursday at 10:30 Eastern to talk about comics and storytelling. That's what the Creative Block is about, and I'll see you there. Bye! Bye, guys! Bye, 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 bye! Non-cringe, less cringe maybe. Yes. All right. Bye, guys!